Bursa Malaysia is working towards establishing an environmental, social and governance index to influence public listed companies to adopt sustainability practices into their business operations. The proposed ESG index is also expected to attract potential social responsible investment (SRI) funds into the country. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak, in his keynote address at the launch of the Bursa Malaysia's Business Sustainability Guide and Portal on Tuesday, said that the studies have shown that there was a positive correlation between companies' sustainable practices and their share price performance. Meanwhile, Bursa Malaysia Chief Executive Officer Datuk Yusli Muhammad Yusof told reporters that Bursa Malaysia is working with relevant parties to establish the ESG index similar to international responsibility indices.
This is all about trying to create higher quality companies, and as you heard earlier on in the speeches, there are funds around the world which specifically track companies which meet certain criteria, socially responsible criteria. These are what we call the SRI funds, socially responsible investment funds. They will look at companies which adhere to certain principles. Sustainability is probably one of them. ESG, environment, social, governance criteria will be applied before they decide where to invest. So the size of these funds are growing by the day, and of course, if we can get our companies to meet some of these criteria, then we can attract some of these funds. Yeah. So that's the aim. So when we create this index, the index will list down all the companies which we believe meet the criteria which we are going to set out, and then funds who are interested to invest in this type of companies can then look at our index and then make decisions accordingly. So hopefully in the long run we will be able to attract this type of funds, more and more of this type of funds into our market. And of course we would like some of our companies to be able to go on some of these global indices which are already existing today. I mean, you've heard the indices like the Dow Jones, the FTSE for good type of indices. It'd be very great if more and more Malaysian companies can qualify to go on those indices, because those indices are already attracting investors into those companies who are on those indices. Depending on the size of the companies that we can put onto the index, this will be an indication of the size of funds we can attract.
He expects the ESG index to be established in 2012.